July 25, 1944, late afternoon. The hedgerows outside St. Lo are still burning. Smoke hangs low over the fields, a gray veil that smells of fuel, scorched earth, and cordite. Somewhere ahead, an American artillery barrage fades, not all at once, but in uneven echoes like doors slamming shut down a long corridor. A German Panzer IV sits half-hidden behind a hedgerow, its engine idling, metal ticking softly as it cools. Inside the turret, Unteroffizier Karl-Heinz Müller wipes sweat from his eyes with a sleeve already blackened by soot. He has been fighting since Poland, France, Russia. He knows tanks, he knows what burns, and more importantly, he knows what explodes. Sherman, the gunner mutters, peering through the sight. Müller doesn't tense, he almost exhales. The American tank breaks through the smoke at 200 meters, boxy tall, clanking forward with that unmistakable silhouette. An M4 Sherman, thin-skinned, high profile, a reputation that has already spread through the panzer crews of Normandy. Too tall, someone says, almost amused. Müller has heard it all before. The Americans build tractors, not tanks. They burn easily. One hit to the side, one clean penetration, and the thing goes up like a torch. In Russia, German crews had watched T-34s die violently. In France, Shermans were worse. Fire, Müller orders, calm. The 75mm round slams into the Sherman's hull. A clean hit, metal shrieks. The impact throws sparks and dust into the air. For a fraction of a second, the tank disappears behind debris. This is the moment they're waiting for. The flash, the eruption, the internal detonation that turns the turret into a lid. But it doesn't come. The Sherman rolls forward. Slower now, damaged. Smoke leaking from the engine deck. Flames lick up from the rear grills, orange against the gray sky. But the tank is still there, still moving. Inside the Panzer, the air shifts. No one laughs. Again, Müller says, sharper this time. Another round, another hit. This one punches through armor. You can almost feel it, the concussive thud traveling through steel. The Sherman jolts, shudders, and the fire intensifies. Still no explosion, no turret launch, no catastrophic bloom of fire. Just flames, sustained, controlled, like a furnace with the door left open. The American tank slows, then stops. Smoke pours out. The fire grows louder, a roaring sound now, but the hull remains intact. Seconds stretch, 10, 15, a hatch opens, then another. American crewmen spill out, dropping to the ground, rolling away from the tank as it burns behind them, alive. Moving, one of them looks back just briefly before sprinting toward the hedgerow. Inside the Panzer, no one speaks. Müller stares through the optics, his jaw tightening. He has seen ammunition cook off. He has seen what happens when a tank's interior becomes an oven. This is not that. That thing should have blown, the loader finally says. Yes, it should have. Across Normandy, scenes like this are unfolding again and again, often unnoticed in the chaos of battle. German crews score hits that would have annihilated earlier Shermans. Penetrations that should have triggered instant death. Instead, they are met with fire without detonation. Crews escaping, tanks burning, but not killing everyone inside. At first, the explanation seems simple. Luck, angle, faulty ammunition, but the pattern keeps repeating. Panzer Lehr Division reports Shermans that burn for minutes without exploding. Veterans from the Eastern Front, men who have watched Soviet tanks erupt like volcanoes, begin to notice the difference. These American tanks die differently, and that difference matters. Earlier in the war, the Sherman had earned its reputation honestly. Ammunition stored high along the hull sides, propellant charges exposed. When German rounds penetrated, the result was often immediate. Flames raced through the fighting compartment. Pressure built, the tank became a coffin. German crews had come to rely on that. Not consciously, but tactically. One hit was enough. Now something has changed. The fire you're seeing outside St. Lo is real. The Sherman is burning hot enough to warp metal, but inside something is suppressing the chain reaction. The ammunition is not detonating all at once. The crew has time, seconds, maybe half a minute, enough to live. And for the first time, experienced Panzer crews feel something unfamiliar creep in. Uncertainty. Because if a tank doesn't kill its crew when it's hit, it doesn't just change survivability. It changes morale, it changes training. It changes how aggressively men fight when they know they might get out. Müller lowers his binoculars. Something's wrong with that tank, he says quietly. He doesn't know it yet, but he's staring at the result of a decision made thousands of miles away by American engineers who were not trying to build the best tank on paper. They were trying to build a tank that forgave mistakes, that absorbed punishment, that gave its crew a chance. And on the battlefields of Normandy, That philosophy is about to collide head-on with German doctrine built around precision, penetration, and finality. The Sherman still burns behind the hedgerow, a column of smoke marking its grave. But the crew is gone. And for the men watching through German optics, the old certainty that one hit meant one kill is starting to crack.